Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's only me today. David is enjoying some well deserved holidays. Um, this summer, we'll have various streams next weekend. I will not be available on Sunday, so I'm not sure if David will be back or not. If not, I hope you are enjoying your summers. Hello, Dominic. I see Dominic's here. Hopefully, other people are here too. Hey, Stig, how you doing? Hope the move went well. I assume you're moved by now. Um, yeah, so I got a few topics to talk about today. Been kind of watching some of the stuff that's been coming out from Big Tree Tech. They've got their new PI, the Pi 4B module, which can take a compute module and convert it and give you I/O out of it. But not only that, they have what's it called? I just got to find it here. They've got the CB1. Now, I've dug into it a little bit, and I cannot find any info on the specific image you can use on it, but it looks to me like a Pi competitor. I don't know if it's fully backwards compatible with the Pi OS. If they were smart, they would have made it that way, but there is also no software available on their GitHub, Big Tree Tech, stating whether it is or not. They do have the board design there, and so maybe it's just early days yet. And they have all the specs and whatnot. It looks like it's pin compatible with the compute module, so that's kind of neat. I just don't know if there will be an Octoprint build for it, because if they do, that'd be great. Cool. Well, good to hear that you're almost done your move. Awesome. Well, yeah, so the Big Tree Tech, let's see. I don't know if it'll let me do my screen share or not today. Ooh, it will. All right. Let's see if this works. There we go. So this is what Big Tree Tech has been up to lately. So they've got, basically, it looks like the octopus, but they call it the manta, and it integrates a compatible compute module. You can put an actual Raspberry Pi 4 compute module on it. Their version of the compute module is 1.5 gigahertz. It's 1 gig RAM DDR. Now the compute module, you can go up to 8 gig of RAM. So, but you don't need that to run Octoprint. So don't know if that's really a deal breaker or anything. So not a big deal there. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. They're marketing it towards the Voron community, because you can run Clipper on it and everything. It's all integrated in one board. That'll really clean up the wiring. They have different options. So it's kind of interesting. They have a number of different choices. This is the other one, which breaks it out and makes it look like more of a Raspberry Pi 4. And they're kind of marketing as that. And now it's only an A58, whereas I think the Raspberry Pi 4... Yeah, it comes with 1, 2, 4, or 8 gig of RAM. You can also get eMMC up to 32 gig. wireless module for connectivity, only has 1 gig of RAM. Okay, so it's slightly different, but the prices are different too. This is 45 and Canadian, and the compute module with adapter, their version is like, I think that's $40 US. So it's kind of comparable. So kind of interesting anyway. So I thought I would kind of go over that a bit with you guys. Yeah. So I don't know if that's something you guys are interested in, because we could definitely get one of those in, start having a look at it, see if it's a viable alternative to the Raspberry Pi. I personally like my Pis. They work good. There is some constraint still on the Pis and availability, and I think that's slowly going away, but it's going to be a little while yet before we get a normal amount of availability of the hardware and whatnot. But yeah, but before I go too much further, I've got a few people I'd like to thank. Thanks to everyone who supports us on Patreon. If you're interested, you get some perks like our Discord, and we'll have a workshop coming up for our Patreons pretty soon. But I just want to thank Hilge for being at Tree Supports, and everyone else on this list for helping make these kind of projects that we do possible. And definitely we'll have to look into adding on one of these compute modules and whatnot. So thanks to everyone who supports us through Patreon. You guys are great, and we appreciate your support. So thank you very much. Anyway, yeah, so we'll definitely get some of those in, have a look at them, evaluate them, see if they're any good. I don't know if anyone's interested in us getting in one of those Pico Pis. It's got the Raspberry Pi smaller processor. It makes a smaller board and whatnot. You still would you can't run Raspberry on it. It's literally still, you can run either Clipper or you can run Marlin on it. So, yeah. Yeah, I haven't ordered too much, but yes, I've noticed that too. Stig was saying that he's noticed that the e-packet from China takes an extra week or two, and yeah, I think the one thing I did order did take a little bit longer, but I wasn't in a rush. I'm just happy that I actually got it. But yes, I think that's going to be the new norm for quite a while until things settle down between continuing lockdowns and whatnot, or disruptions to the supply. I think it's going to be a little while. Not quite back to normal yet, but hopefully one of these days soon would be nice. For sure. Yeah, so other than that, I've been kind of digging around. Prusa Slicer, they've just announced a new alpha. Yeah, I agree, Ray. That's everything takes extra. Just finding container ships is one thing, and with air freight, I mean, the majority of the world's air freight went in regular airliners that were carrying passengers, and they would just whenever they had room left for in the baggage area, they filled it with air to mail to ship across. But because all those flights are still being canceled or haven't even come back to the volumes that they were, yeah, everything costs way more. For sure. Prusa Slicer, I just wanted to kind of let you know, they've got a new alpha out. And this one's kind of interesting. They put a shout out to the Kira folks because Kira has kept their project open source still. And so they have a nice little shout out here. So I'm just going to switch to my screen share here. And maybe I'll make this a little bigger. There we go. So they say the new perimeter generator, Arcane, and the new lightning infill were ported from Kira. The Arcane perimeter generator was implemented based on a paper, and they quote the paper, while the lightning infill was implemented based on this. Big thanks to Ultimaker, pardon me, for keeping Kira open source. Big kudos to the Kira development team led by, and they call out Nathaniel and Bagel Orb for their research and the majority of the Arcane implementation. So it's really nice to see that Prusa, not only are they keeping their stuff open source so that Kira can use portions of it, they're incorporating the newer, fancier features that have been developed. So all the products can get better. I really like to see that kind of stuff. So that I saw that and I thought that was great. I normally don't load alphas. I'll do the betas or maybe the release candidates. So yeah, so this is pretty early. Let's just see if they have any of the files available. Yeah, so they have a whole bunch of different files available if you want to try it. Mostly Linux. There's a Windows version. There is an Mac version too. So they have quite a few versions, but I'm just going to stick with 4.2 for now. So Ray, did you get your you were printing lightsabers and everything. Have you finished all your Voron? Because that's a big project. So hopefully it's coming along smoothly. Dominic, yeah, the lightning supports. That's what I was just reading. They incorporated it from Kira and the open source. No making me mad, Raymond says. Is it close, or are you tweaking? Are you to the point where motors are moving, or not quite there yet? It can be frustrating when you're troubleshooting. Now you were working on Clipper, I do believe, right? And having some issues there. I myself went with the mainsail version of Clipper because when I looked at the community and whatnot, mainsail is the original, and then Fluid branched off of mainsail. But there was a big stall in Fluid when I was looking at the two, and there hadn't been releases for months. Now there is a ton of activity on Fluid, so maybe I'll give it a try. But right now, mainsail is working for me quite well. Yeah, so my biggest thing, and I was thinking of trying it on because you're using the Octopus board, right? I was thinking of trying to get it running on that My biggest thing was when I was getting it set up, I didn't select the correct serial interface. So every time I'd flash the board, it would flash, but then it wouldn't communicate over the serial interface to the Pi. So I could get to the Pi, the interface was fine, but then I'd constantly get an error for communicating. So there was an issue that I had to work through in the config. So, but what I did, the other thing I did first was rather than going straight to Fluid or Mainsail, I did Clipper, and I did the Clipper setup first just to verify that I could get it working, and then that's where I worked out some of the bugs. Yeah, I'll play with mine this week because I haven't actually tried Clipper with that board, and I have somewhere over here. I have a Raspberry Pi 0W here. Maybe I'll play around and see if I can get Clipper running on that with the Octoprint, or sorry, Clipper running on that with the Octopus board. So we can maybe figure it out together. Are you sold on Fluid or Mainsail, or I think you said you were going with Fluid, correct? On that. Let's go to Git. Let's see, I think this is it. Yeah. So I think you said you were using Fluid. Fluid software and firmware. I'm hoping you did something. There's some pretty good guides. Let me just see if I can find one for you, because I had a troubleshooting guide. Mainsail. Yeah, Mainsail, and then settings, deployment. I got it. I thought there was a spot where they had board setups. I'm just having a quick look here. Work related and personal. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. Setup guides. Clipper manual setup. Was it on Big Tree Tech? Big Tree Tech. GitHub. I just can't remember, but there was a spot where they had a Clipper guide specifically for Big Tree Tech boards, and that's what really helped me out. Let me just see if I can find it. Octopus One. Let's have a look. Octopus One, Voron 2.4, firmware, Clipper. So they have firmware for the Octopus for Clipper directly on Big Tree Tech. Is that what you put on your board? Just out of curiosity, because that would be the one I would try first. That way, because it'll map all the correct pins, and you don't have to like compile anything. So that might be an option for you. I'm just looking here. Let's go. Probably easier if I show you. So this is the Big Tree Tech firmware USB compatible for Raspberry Pi A, and then UART. And the Voron page has a really good guides to building it too. So, but this one is pretty good. They talk about the different boards and selection, and everything. So, if you want to build it yourself, and that's what I ended up doing, is I ran the firmware creation tool and created my own firmware, because basically the way Clipper works is you're putting on a very basic mapping of the pins to basically the USB communication, so that once the command is sent from the Pi, it's just going through the USB directly to the pins. So it just simplifies everything. It's not actually like Marlin, where it's doing some more processing on the board's chips. So the firmware that you do load is quite generic, shall we say, in that it just is directing that communication to the USB to all the pins. So it's very simple. And that's why it's so quick. Is the board doesn't hesitate. Once it gets the command, it just processes it. Yeah, I don't think that's quite the error he's getting. I don't know, Stig, if you've ever used Clipper before, but you set up the Pi with Clipper or Mainsail or Fluid OS, whichever one you want, and that will then communicate to the board via USB or UART, depending on which way you're connecting it, and then it controls the board, but it's a really cut down version of Marlin. So there's not much to compile. It's basically, like I said, it's not compiling a whole bunch of libraries and whatnot. So there's not a lot of errors to get. I don't know if that makes sense. So, but yeah, it's they have some pretty good guides here. I think I will give it a try. Maybe I'll try Fluid. I haven't tried it since they started updating it again, so maybe it's a good time to have a look at that. The main structure of the Clipper files is the same between both of them. Your main difference is the kind of the way they structure their web interface and their storage, but they both use the same. Let me bring it up. I will show you if I can find it. Where's my printers? I don't know if I can find my printer. Oh, come on. I gotta find it. Yeah, the weather looks pretty good though. Good day to take a dog for a walk. No, that's not the right one. I can't find it right now. I gotta look and see. I can't remember what my. I thought I had it bookmarked. Oh. Yeah, I can't find it right now. I've never tried Clipper, but I might give it a go when I get my 3D printer project going. You know, it's kind of neat. Works pretty good. You don't need a Pi to do it. You just need a Linux computer, which you can use a Pi if you want. It's designed more to use a Pi in conjunction with Clipper, but I'm sure you can run Clipper on any Linux system. Nice. All right. Yeah, where is... H-U-L. I can't find it. Yeah, no big deal. Anyway, hopefully the firmware is not my strong suit, but I'll give an idea. Well, the firmware itself that goes on the board is nothing. Like I said, it's very basic. The more complexity comes in the actual use of the the mainsail or fluid backend. Making sure your files are there, that you can do various scripts and whatnot to do leveling and do your harmonic resonance stuff. So there's a lot of different things you have processes that are just different than Marlin, that would be built into the firmware that you can just do right from the screen. So it's just different. And now I know guys who run either a Duet or run Marlin right on their Voron. So I mean, you don't have to run Clipper on a Voron. You can, and it will be kind of the standard, but you can actually run Marlin if you wanted to. I chose to run Clipper on mine with mainsail, but hey, you can do whatever you like. So, Ray, you have been printing lightsabers. Is that for gifts for someone? Is it a project? What's the deal with all the lightsabers? And if anyone wants to know how I know that, our Discord. So if you check out our Discord, if you're a Patreon, you can check out some of the stuff Ray has been doing. He was asking who was printing what this weekend, and he showed off his lightsabers that he's been pumping out. So they look pretty cool. What is everyone else printing? Stig, you've been moving, so I don't know if you've been printing much. And Dominic, how about you? Have you been printing? I haven't seen Helge here today. He might be out enjoying the summer. So I don't know if he's actually here or not, but anyone else? What have you been printing? I have not been printing much. I plan on doing a few projects and whatnot. We got a number of kids doing sports and whatnot, so I thought I'd do do up some bag tags and stuff for them and do some multicolor. So I'm going to work on that. I would like to finish up some of my setup for my CNC. I'm just kind of still learning through the process of the. I had to choose the hardest way because Fusion, you can do some pretty complex stuff, but you have the setups are more how in the cam are a little more difficult. So I've been working on that. All right, let's see who's been doing that. I only have a Linux computer. Firmware is not a strong suit, but I will build. No printing in a while since I've moved my printers to the new place. Yeah, that makes sense. Probably going to take a while to get it all set up the way you want it to. Project will be 12 total different ones with 5 pieces each. They all screw together so they can be mixed and matched with parts. That's cool. All right. The battle bots. Yeah, I saw. So we haven't really talked about Murph, but Murph finished up, and I've been watching some of the stuff. And they had Sam Prentice brought some of the. I think one year they did like the remote control RC cars. This year they did battle bots with kind of a jousting thing. So yeah, it's kind of neat, all the stuff they've been doing. Oh yeah, Alien 3D project. So you get the Alien 3, what are they, the boxes or whatever, and then they ship them out. Yeah, I haven't ever got one of those boxes. I may have to. I think my daughter would be into some of those kits and stuff. She likes doing a lot of electronics projects and whatnot. So that might be kind of neat. Me, it's been running around doing kids sports stuff. Summer stuff is in full string with and then work has been busy with the standard summer cleanup time stuff. So we haven't had a chance to really do much 3D printing at work. It's all been our normal full-time regular job, not the extra stuff. So, but it's been pretty good. Hope to get in some camping at some time this summer, but we'll see. We'll be doing sports and whatnot. We'll have to maybe throw a tent in the back of the car and camp out near where the kids are playing sports, I think, which I'm just going to love with my back. I've opted for projects only for the Alien 3D. Don't really need the filament samples. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. So maybe I'll check it out because they do some neat little projects I've seen on some other channels. They show off the filament that they get and then the project. So just the projects might be kind of cool. What's this month's project, Dominic? See if I can find it. Not sponsored, by the way. All right, filaments only. Where are the... So I'm just taking a look here. Which is the one you got? Shop. 3D producers, UFO boxes, projects. Oh yeah, they got lots of little full UFO. What's this one? I can't read it. It's so small. Full monthly UFO projects and accessories. Projects that says filament only. And nano. I opted for the projects only. Okay. This month's project is a simple walking robot thing. Not very sophisticated, but should be entertaining for the grandson. Yep. I think my daughter would like that kind of stuff. She's into engineering. You would need to get Stig is asking, he's been thinking of using the 2.85 millimeter filament. You would need to get a proper PTFE tube that could take that large of a filament, along with a throat and a heat sink and everything that's all the throat, the nozzle that is compatible with 2.85. None of my stuff is. And then you need to, the extruder probably will be okay, but you may have to get a different extruder too. So. All right. So yeah, they have a number of different boxes. What is the accessory box? Did they show you? Oh, projects. Here we are. Here are the projects. Digital hourglass. Arcade print and play. Digital ruler. Interesting. They have lots of neat little stuff. So something. There's lots of little project kind of stuff that you can get. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the internal diameter of the Capricorn tube is specifically made to constrain 1.75 filament. So you would totally need new tube. I don't even know if Capricorn makes that large of tube. We could find out though. 2.85 millimeter. PTFE. Yeah, Bowden. Capricorn makes so you can buy Capricorn. Regular Capricorn won't work, but they do have Capricorn that is designed specifically for 2.85 millimeter. So it's right here. So you get a meter of it, and you can cut it up and do what you need to. So I believe your couplers and everything will be the same size, but yeah, I don't need much since the printer is a direct drive. Well, that's true. But you'll just need the right nozzle and throat and everything. And you'll have to experiment. Let us know how it goes, because I haven't really printed with it. I mean, you're probably going to be printing quite a bit larger nozzle than 0.4. You're probably going to be like maybe printing with a 1 or even bigger nozzle. So it'll be interesting to see kind of the look of prints on the larger nozzle. You get quite the rib pattern, but it's pretty good. No sound? Really? I thought I had sound. That's weird. Did it quit on me? Test, test, test. Can you guys, can I get a, oh, Steak has sound. Okay, so apparently I do have sound. Sorry, Ray, I don't know why you don't have sound. That's weird. But yeah, so yeah, you can definitely get the Capricorn if you want it, but I mean, I don't know. We'll have to you'll have to update us on your project, because I haven't like I said, I haven't played with it, but I do like the look of everything. So yeah. Well, one more plug here, so just be patient with me. I'd just like to thank one more time all our Patreon supporters. Thanks, Helge, for being at the tree support level, and everyone else who contributes. It makes like projects like getting the Raspberry Pi boards or the screens or everything possible. So thank you very much. It also gives you access to our Discord and whatnot. So I do appreciate that. Anyone who does do that. And if you haven't done it, which I think everyone that has been chatting has, but if you haven't done it already, please hit that thumbs up. It always helps the algorithm gods keep our videos relevant in the stream. And if you haven't, click the subscribe button. You're not obligated to, but it does help us out, even that little bit. So if you get a chance, please think about subscribing. We have some great videos on compiling Marlin and whatnot on our site. We are in the process of updating them to be relevant with Marlin 2.1. And hopefully we'll have some other projects and stuff on the go in the future. So if you so inclined, hit that thumbs up. That'd be great. Stig, what are you saying here? I'm thinking about building a printer from kind of scratch using my CR10 Pro as a donor and other parts laying around. Yep. The CR10S Pro, I totally understand. We have the Max, and that one's been a temperamental printer. It worked for a bit and then had some issues, and so it's going through a rebuild process as well. It's had hit or miss performance. My CR10 V2 works awesome. My Chiron Bumblebee over there works great, and my Ender 3, love it. But yeah, the one that worked, we had the Max, and it was hit or miss. The only requirement I have is that it has to be enclosed print so I can print ABS and ASA. Yeah, that's the one thing. My little Hulk here, it can print ABS, but I haven't moved it outside yet. So that's the other thing I plan on doing this summer is I'm going to get all set up so I can start tuning it and for ABS. That's the one thing, because it is designed to print ABS, so I want to start printing parts on it and whatnot. So I've got a few test prints that I will try, and I will get that going. So that's one of my projects as well, is to start printing ABS. Since the majority of my stuff is PLA and some PETG, I have some ABS, so I'd like to actually print it so I can get going on my Voron other Voron project. Yeah, there's a ton of ideas out there. Ray, once you get your printer going, are you going to submit it to the Voron group to get a serial number? I did that with my Voron, so I officially have a serial number for mine, which is, I know it's kind of novelty, but it's kind of cool. You build your own printer and get a serial number, so it's kind of neat. The submission process is pretty simple. You demo your printer printing, and you print a Voron cube, and then you submit it to the video and your information about your printer to them, and away you go. The LDO kits came with the serial number. See, I had to submit to get my make it official. So that was kind of neat. Yeah, that's kind of fun. So there's lots of cool stuff out there to do, project-wise. So hopefully everything goes smoothly for you, Ray, and you can get everything up and running, and everything goes smoothly for you. So, yeah. Other than that, I think I'm pretty much out of things to talk about. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much out of it today. So I'm going to call it a little early because it's so much easier when you have someone online to talk to. But I appreciate everyone for showing up today. Hope you have a wonderful summer. We are going to have some shows here and there. It's going to be a little sporadic with summer between holidays and sports and all that kind of stuff. So we will squeeze some more in. We haven't done our Patreon, so I'm going to have to talk to David and see when we can do our Patreon get together. And we'll give you guys a good head up and try to go from there. I could have called you for what? Did I miss something? Did I say something? I guess, oh yeah, I guess I could have brought you in to chat. All right, well, I will keep you in mind. Like I said, I'm not available next Sunday because I'm away, so maybe David will be here. I'm not sure. I will contact him and we'll post it on our Patreon and whatnot, and maybe we'll be able. We're more than happy to bring one of you on to chat with us. So yeah, Ray, maybe we can bring you on, and you can chat with us about your projects and whatnot, and we can kind of get your opinions on some of the new stuff coming out and go from there. So anyway, that is going to be all for me today. So thanks again, everyone, for coming out and chatting. Nice to chat with you all. Stig, good luck with the rest of your move. I hope it goes smoothly and you can get everything set up and comfortable in your new place. And see ya soon.